Let's bring in Carson Palmer. How many times you play on Thanksgiving?
A big fat 0 for me.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing.
No, the Thursday night games are great when they're appropriately scheduled. When you have that Friday, Saturday, Sunday off to recover and rest and sit around and watch football, that's the best. As long as you're not beat up and sore going into that Thursday game from the previous Sunday. But players love the Thursday games if they're appropriately timed and they didn't play previously on Monday night. Or something like that. But getting that long weekend is fantastic for the players.
It's really tough, though, to, you play Sunday and you got to turn around and play Thursday on just a normal week. And now you have this. I can't imagine that you can be prepared physically and mentally for a game with 3 days in between.
Well, at the same time, both teams are with a limited schedule for mental prep. But the issue are the veteran teams. When you have a team like Pittsburgh who's stacked with a bunch of 29 to 34-year-olds, it's hard on those guys. When you're 22, 23, you can play on Sunday and probably turn around and play again on Tuesday if you had to. But those older guys, those veteran teams, those teams that have a bunch of guys that are in their maybe late 20s, early 30s that have to turn around and play on Thursday, those are the teams it's really tough on.
UCLA and USC this weekend. Carson played against UCLA 3 times. I got you passing for 824 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. You went 3-0, outscoring UCLA 117-56. What'd you make of that game on Saturday?
It's time for the season to get over for our Trojans. We're ready for an off season. We're ready for a coaching change and the new regime to come in and put their stamp on the program. It's time.
Hey, got any new coaching candidates?
Not today.
Okay, good.
Not today. But I still got a couple guys earmarked, but I don't know if you and I are allowed to talk about those guys on air anymore.
Before you were coming on, Paulie goes, how far do you think Carson Palmer's ever thrown a football? So we're going to guess here. Todd, I'll start with you. How far?
73 yards.
Now, this isn't in a game. This is life. Okay, so 73 yards. McLovin?
I'm going to Price is Right him, 75 yards.
Okay, I see what you're doing there. Seton?
75.5.
Paulie?
Because you said life and not a football game, I'm going to go 81 yards.
I'm going to go 76 yards. Carson, your answer.
The farthest I've thrown is 73, I think.
73.
73. Somebody threw 73 out there. I'm not sure. Was that
Todd?
Fritzy?
Yeah, that was me.
All right.
73, baby.
See? Smart guy. First in his class, right?
Second.
Thanks. Make sure you clarify that.
Second in his class. He cheated off.
Oh, stop.
You did cheat.
I was second in junior high school and high school. You could add that while you rip me for looking at my friend's paper once in a while.
But that's called cheating.
It's called checking your answers to make sure you got what you wrote down right.
When you cheated at USC, Carson, how did you do it?
Well, I didn't really cheat. I just didn't go to class.
That's what USC has to get back to.
Yeah, we're getting there. Like I said, we need the season to get over. We need to forget about 2021 and really 2020 and 2019. But we need to move on. 2022 is our year. Watch out.
Best win of the weekend was turned in by which team in the NFL?
The best win of the weekend is I need these who's playing tonight? I need them.
The Giants and the Buccaneers?
I need the G-men for a 5-team scream parlay. If they can just cover 11, a $100 bet wins me $2,000, and they're my 5th leg. So that's my biggest win. I don't even need the G-men to win. I just need them to cover.
Okay.
But because we're worried about me here, right, Dan? So I need the G-men.
Are you down on your luck? I mean, do you need the money, or is everything okay at the Palmer household?
Everything's okay, but there's no better money than money won.
Okay.
So that 5-teamer screamer, I'm a big 5-teamer screamer. I love throwing them out there. They never come through or hardly ever do. So I need my G-men tonight. Just keep it within 10. That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
But the worst win, or the worst game of the week, the worst loss, was that Bills-Indy game. I mean, I was high on the Bills. I was loving watching them play, and they just showed up And they showed that they have an issue with a physical running football team. And I didn't think that would be an issue, but they didn't want to tackle Jonathan Taylor. I mean, there were arm tackles broken. There were guys coming to the point of attack and kind of turning it down. And that's not what you expected from a Sean McDermott Buffalo Bills defense. And I know that defense is built for speed and they're built to play with a lead. But if you can run the ball and jump out against the Buffalo Bills, I'm a little bit worried about him. And I'm a little bit worried about, and I love Josh, I love the QB, but he's starting to throw, he's starting to make some poor decisions and panic. I mean, he threw a pick on 3rd and 18 or 19 yards that you just can't throw in that situation. And then, you know, he panicked again on another 3rd down and had a receiver about 8 yards away from him, threw an absolute piss missile at him, and it went right through his hands and bounced into the hands of the defending team. And you know, there's some issues in Buffalo, and I think that was glaring. I think that was easily the worst loss of the week, and I'm a little concerned about them moving forward.
I just want to follow up. A piss missile? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, it was about a 10-yard pass, and he threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And you got to take care of your guys on those shorter underneath routes. And, you know, as a fan, you can sit there and go, well, it hit his receiver in the hands. But that ball was only coming, 15 yards in the air, and it was going, like I said, 95 miles an hour. You got to have a little touch on, and it's a little bit of a panic you're seeing in Josh. You know, you're down a couple scores. You feel like you got to make something happen. You try to squeeze one in on 3rd and 18 when you just need to take the check down, throw it out of bounds, and punt. And that was my worst loss of the week. It's got me concerned in Buffalo.
Once again, it's a piss missile.
It's a piss missile.
Okay. I'd never
heard of a piss missile?
No.
You can use it. Yeah, you can use it.
Okay. I don't know how I'll use it. I mean, it doesn't come up in conversation around the dinner table with my wife, but
no, it's radio talk. It's TV talk. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I love the NFL terminology sometimes that I get caught up on. I just I haven't heard that one before. You got any other ones that are like inside football?
Yeah, I've got a bunch, but I'm going to save it for next Monday.
What?
I'll just give you one a week. Is that fair?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. Do the Chiefs have a decent defense? Like, they have a defense that is good enough to help them go to the Super Bowl again?
They've obviously got a good enough defense to get into the playoffs, but if you can jump up on them and run the ball, they're not built to stop the run. They're built to have a lead. And so, they played a lot better. And that was kind of the game we've all been waiting for Kansas City to play, where Patrick looked really confident with the ball. There's still some Travis Kelce issues you saw on the pick that bounced off his chest, but they're starting to figure some things out on defense. But that team is built for speed. That team is built to play with a 14, 21-point lead where you have to throw it on them. If they catch a team like Indy that comes in and runs the ball and gets real physical with them and owns the time of possession and doesn't give the ball to Patrick Mahomes, they are very susceptible to being beat.
But I wonder about that when we get to the playoffs, and we saw this with the Titans. A couple of years ago, they were up big on Kansas City, couldn't hold on. But that team that's run first, and because everybody, it feels like their defenses are smaller and faster, built for speed, whereas you get a team that has a good offensive line and just able to run the football. Indianapolis could be a tough out because of that, because not many teams are built that way. The Titans are, Colts are, Philadelphia runs the football, but they're not going to be a playoff caliber team. So that could be an interesting team to run up against, the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what Derrick Henry was doing for the last 3 or 4 years in Tennessee, he was an anomaly. They were an anomaly. Everybody else was built to throw it. And it's not that, Derrick Henry is obviously a great back. That offensive line is really good. They're just so different, and they're so difficult to prepare for, and they're so difficult to practice during the week because you got a back that is so different than everybody else. Now bringing it back to Indy, I mean, Indy's kind of similar. Jonathan Taylor, there aren't many backs built like him right now. I mean, it was him and really Derrick Henry that are 230 pounds plus that can run away from you. There's a lot of smaller, quicker, shiftier backs, but they are an anomaly. And that offensive line in Indy is much better than that offensive line in Tennessee. So, I mean, I do think they're a problem if T.Y. Hilton can stay healthy, Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, and Carson Wentz. that defense is a division champ type defense. That defense is a playoff defense. They got playmakers in the back end. Leonard, who does such a great job from a leadership standpoint at linebacker and rushing the passer and speed and quickness, cover the backs out of the backfield. They're going to be a difficult team. We've seen Carson Wentz struggle early on this year. It looks like he's starting to kind of iron out some of those problems he was having. If he can continue to play the way he played yesterday, they are going to be a tough out.
Do quarterbacks like having that running game? Like, it means less throws, but do you think most of these guys are comfortable? You think Patrick Mahomes is comfortable handing the ball off?
Absolutely. The quarterbacks want to play against a single high, single safety defense. And you can do that when, a team that can't throw it comes up to you, and you can play single high defense. But when you get back and play two high defense and you have that second safety deep covering the pass, and you can run the ball from a quarterback's perspective, you love it. It helps the play action pass game. It helps get you more single high safety looks, which is an advantageous thing for an offense to be in, because now there's more holes and more voids in the defense. When you can't run the ball and defenses can put another safety back, there's less holes in the defense and less voids in the defense to throw into. So a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, all these great quarterbacks that we're watching play, Tom Brady, running game and handing the ball off is a great thing when you're averaging over 4 yards a pop. They all love that.
You ever go to the line of scrimmage and forget the play?
Yes.
What do you do?
It only happened a couple times. One time it was on a run play, and I knew it was a run. I just forgot which way it was going. And I opened up to the left and the back went to the right. And I think I took a 5-yard loss. And one time I dropped back. Actually, I completely forgot what the play was. It was 3rd and long. And I don't know what I called. And I still to this day don't know what I called. I just called something in the huddle and found somebody that actually got open, got the first down and moved on, and hadn't talked about it since until now.
But how's that happen? Did you get your bell rung?
I'm actually surprised it didn't happen more, because I have a problem with short-term memory loss, and I got hit in the head a bunch. And I'm surprised it only happened twice, but I do remember those two plays in my career. And I'm actually thinking back to the pass play, and I probably did have a little bit of a bell rung and had an issue with that, and that's probably why that happened.
How many official concussions did you have?
I only had one that put me in the hospital overnight, and where I don't remember the game. I don't remember the previous day. I woke up in the hospital with my buddy Frosty Rucker, who was a teammate of mine, a couple different stops, and my wife sitting in the hospital room waiting for me to wake up. And I just kind of came to and had no clue what was going on, where I was. So that was my really only official concussion.
How many unofficial do you think you had?
A good baker's dozen, somewhere around there.
Were you good at hiding?
Hiding concussions?
Yeah.
It really wasn't a topic until about 10 years ago. So my first half of my career, there were bell rungs. They were, you got dinged up. You got a little sleepy on a hit. I mean, there was terms for it. It wasn't an official concussion, but it wasn't until 10 years ago where people were like, all right, that was a concussion. You need to go into the protocol.
He gave us piss missile this week. Who knows what he'll give us next week? We're rooting for the Giants tonight.
Just 10 points. We don't need them to win. We just need them to cover for the 5-team screen.
But you're going to be yelling at Brady. You're rooting against Tom Brady tonight, aren't you?
100%.
For $2,000. Help out Carson Palmer. Please give. Happy Thanksgiving, Carson. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's Carson Palmer joining us, courtesy of the CBD trusted by professional athletes. Level Select CBD provides targeted relief, helps treat everyday discomfort when you need it the most.